Hello, everyone. Welcome to APH Virtual Excel Camp. This is our second day of summer art camp for 4 to 6-year-olds. We are so glad to have you with us. Hope you have your art supplies ready. We're going to be talking about your favorite room again, but something special about your favorite room. So hopefully you've got that in mind. We had a lovely surprise arrive in our email, and I'm going to share it with you. Aparna's favorite room was the bedroom. There are 3 different drawings on the screen. The first one has blues on the white background, and we can see some squiggles and a square, and I'm pretty sure a person, maybe it's Aparna, in this room or going into this room. The second picture has actually 2 pictures in it. One is using tactile paper from that kit. We see some sponge and some glitter. I see rectangles and triangles and squares. And then another drawing, again, I think with a blue and possibly blue and green marker. See a large rectangle, lots of spots. And I think I see 2 people, maybe even more in this picture, enjoying the bedroom. Thank you so much. And all of you are welcome to share your artwork with us so we can let everybody see it. So I am going to stop sharing my screen and say welcome again. And Michelle and Erica are your instructors today, and they are going to take it away.
Hi, campers. This is Miss Michelle. Welcome back to day 2 of camp. Miss Erica and I are so excited that you are here today. I'll let Miss Erica take a minute to say hello as well.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Miss Erica. I'm really excited for today. We've got some fun stuff, and I'm excited to see you guys and maybe hear you some more today, too.
All right, campers, this is Miss Michelle again. And just so everyone knows, if anyone is able, for those who are able to see me, I do have my black glasses on today, and I have a dark blue top on, and my background behind me is also dark blue. It'll always be dark blue. So that's how you'll always know it's me and not Miss Erica. She'll have a different color background. So one of the things we did want to talk about, we had so many people that were so excited to share and raise their hands and share some artwork. So we wanted to see if anybody, if Miss Leanne has permissions from the people, or who she has permissions from, to share your screen so that we can see you and maybe have a few of you share your artwork that you started of your favorite room. I do see one hand raised. We're going to start, before we raise hands, we're going to start by having Miss Leanne share the cameras, I think, if I'm doing this correctly.
Actually, we actually need them to raise their hand so I know that I can get them to turn their camera on.
That's good. So if you are allowed to have your camera turned on, please go ahead and raise your digital hand.
It'll take me a second, so just hold on.
Oh, I see all those hands going up, guys. This is Miss Erica.
And this is Miss Michelle. I'm very excited that we will get to see you today.
I think I got them all.
All right. There are 4 people, is that correct?
Oh, I see. Hold on.
Maybe I'm just missing things.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7, 8, but they're working on getting their cameras on.
Okay. Oh, yes. It's just the way I have mine shown up. All right. Looks like we might be just waiting for one more camera. So everybody who is there and has their camera on, we are just waiting.
If you're trying to turn it on, there should be an Alt V is your control. You could use Alt V to turn on the camera. And Penelope, you would need to be promoted. So let me get you promoted. There you go, Penelope. You should be able to get it turned on now. And Mila wants to turn on. Okay.
Hi. Oh, look at all of our friends today.
Got
I
Ren and
love
Penelope and
this.
Mason and Tristan and Calvin and Ira, Mila, Dylan, Donnie. We've got lots of friends.
So
Oh,
many
Aaron's coming
friends.
too.
All right, so I'm going to make a suggestion. This is Miss Michelle. Since we have all of the cameras turned on, Miss Leanne, in order to have them show their artwork, would you need to pin them or can they just hold their artwork up to the camera?
They should be able to hold their artwork up to the camera.
Okay, so
Some
if
people might need some descriptions, but I can't wait to see the art.
I can't wait either. So we are going to ask you if you would like to share the picture you made of the outline of your favorite room. You can hold that up to the camera. If you have an adult with you, maybe they can help you. Usually the camera is at the top of the screen. And if you can see it, sometimes there's like a white light near it, and it's usually at the center. Now, not everybody's camera is the same, so keep that in mind. But if you'd like to do that, you can hold your artwork up towards that. And then if I see some artwork, maybe Miss Leanne and Miss Erica and I can take some turns.
I'm seeing lots of artwork. Mason has held one up.
I see Ira.
Ren, I think you've got your hands on your artwork. And I think Mila has hers in front of her. You can only see the person speaking. How interesting. Let's see if I can make this add in. Get ready, guys. It's gonna get full. Are you seeing more people now?
Holding his up.
Yes.
I'm
there we
working on getting
go.
everybody. It takes me a second.
Penelope. Wow, friends. I'm seeing some really neat things. It's very exciting.
I've got all sorts of little faces and artwork.
Yay! Yes, we will definitely show what there is a question that came through in the chat asking if we can describe what kids are showing, and we will definitely describe. We're just waiting for Miss Leanne to finish getting all of the
Got as much as I can.
camera set up. Okay, you just let us know when we are good to go.
You're good to go.
All right. So I am going to start. Let's see. I think Ira had one up to the camera. I'm going to start there. Oh, Ira, it looks like you used the swell paper, and I see some green and blue, and I see what looks like lots of maybe people around or on the page. I love it. All right, let's see. And Miss Leanne and Miss Erica, I'm going to ask for help. Oh, I also see
Mila's.
Mila's, yes.
Purple squares.
Yeah.
I think possibly on that swell paper again. And Mason has his swell paper with some greens and some blues. I see some squares. This seems to be a running theme. Lots of squares to help decide rooms. I see Tristan has a drawing up. His looks like black squares. Some are rectangles and some are even bigger. And it even says his living room.
Yes.
Ren, it looks like you might have used aluminum to do yours and maybe drew in some lines in your aluminum so you could feel those lines. That's a different way of making art too.
Absolutely.
Penelope looks like she put fabric or the textured paper on a sheet to make her picture. We have lots of pictures.
Lots of
Wow.
very nice pictures.
All right,
Okay.
guys.
You guys
Thank
ready
you.
to move forward for right now? I'm going to put Michelle and Erica back up for you guys.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. We're so excited to see everybody's favorite rooms and how you decided to show your favorite room. And that's one of the best things about art. I think everybody did something a little bit different. And that is amazing because you all got to do what worked best for you. So today, for day 2 of Art Camp, we are going to be thinking about something special in your favorite room. We're going to be talking about furniture, and Miss Erica and I were thinking about large furniture. So today we are going to learn what Miss Erica and I were going to call large furniture in your favorite room. Okay? So if you don't have them, things that we will use today are going to be your Carousel of Textures if you received it, or any other materials that your family let you have or use for crafting and making art. The map that you started with, that the one that you just created, because we're going to add to that picture. And if you have scissors or glue or tape, maybe your swell paper, crayons, so all those great things. So I'm just going to pause for a little bit, maybe about a minute or a little bit less, so that you can grab those things if you don't have them. When you have things that you are going to need for today, raise your digital hand so that we know that you are ready. Can go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and get those materials if you don't have them. I see a few hands going up already.
Nice job, guys.
What are the materials that we're going to use today?
That's a great question, Tristan. We are going to, you're going to be able to use kind of whatever you want to. So if you have the swell paper or the Carousel of Textures, you're going to want those with you. You might want some scissors if you choose a material that needs to be cut. You might want some tape if you don't want to use your sticky dots. You might want a stapler or a glue stick. Oops, I see 4 hands raised.
Oh, 5.
Oh,
Oh, so basically we're going to use whatever we want to.
yes. Yep. You'll probably use the same materials every time. Every time we come to camp, you'll want all of those things with you. And then you can choose which ones you use. That's the best part about art.
Yay. I love doing art.
Me too, Tristan. Miss Erica and Miss Michelle love it. All right, so I've given just a little over a minute, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. If you don't have your materials already, that's okay. If your digital hand is up, you can go ahead and put that down so that if we need to see them again, we'll know who needs to put them up. And just to remember for our camp Zoom rules, if you're going to unmute yourself to talk, you need to make sure you have a quiet background. That means there's nobody else talking in the background or no TV on. If I am quiet and stop talking, this is what a quiet background sounds like. Okay. Now, if you want to talk and be unmuted, we will have you raise your digital hand. We will also give you opportunities to ask questions or to answer. So if you have a question, try to hold on to it until we tell you it's time for questions, and then you can raise your digital hand. Right? And it looks like everybody is already joined with a name. That's the word. So yesterday, we started talking about the rooms in your home, and you selected your favorite room. And then in your extension activity, you got to explore the perimeter or the walls of your room to determine its shape. And then you used some sort of material to make the outline of the shape of your room. So we want to give everybody a chance to let us know in the chat the shape of your room. So remember, you will start entering your answers in the chat when I say go. And today's sound is a doorbell. Miss Erica is going to play the doorbell sound that you're going to listen for to know that the chat is closed. Did everybody hear that?
It's really soft.
It
It's
was
almost
very
too hard to
soft.
hear.
Try again.
Oh, that was much better.
Much
Much
better.
better.
So remember, wait until you hear me say go, but here are your choices. If your room is a square, you will type S in the chat for square. If it is a rectangle, you will type R for rectangle. If your room is a different shape other than rectangle or square, you will type O for other. Go. I'm seeing a lot of R's. I see a couple of S's. And I heard the doorbell sound. That means the chat is closed. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 R's and 1, 2, 3 S's. So it looks like more people have a rectangle room than a square room. My favorite room is also a rectangle shape in my house. Miss Erica, what shape is your favorite room?
My favorite room is also a rectangle shape.
And we know our favorite rooms are a rectangle shape because it has 4 sides, and 2 sides are short and 2 sides are long. Those who have a square room also have 4 sides, and all 4 walls are the same size. So today we are going to talk about the furniture in your favorite room. And rooms have furniture of all different sizes. Some of those are small, some are medium, and some are large. Today, we're only going to talk about small and large items. So for our camp and for today, what makes a piece of furniture large? Miss Erica and I thought if it's heavy, that means it takes 2 or 3 people to pick it up. Sometimes those things are very, very large. Or is it as wide or as tall as your arms stretched from side to side? So let's take a minute now. We're going to do like we did yesterday with our wings. We're going to take our arms and stretch them way out to the side so that they are at your shoulders. And just stretch, stretch, stretch. Let's see everybody stretch those arms. Remember, those cameras are on today. Pick those arms up and stretch them out. Yes, I see some stretched arms out to the sides. Sides. Yes, like you're making yourself like a print letter T. Yes. So that's how we know if an item is large. If your arms stretch out and it's as long as your arms stretched out or
Longer.
bigger, then it's a large item. Okay. Now, I'm going to name some items that might be large. A dresser, which is what I call where I put clothes. It's a place with drawers where you might keep your clothes. Some people have a different name. If you have a large piece of furniture in your room where you keep clothes that have drawers, raise a digital hand.
I see Ariana has her hand raised.
Calvin. Mason has a hand raised. So does Ren and Penelope. Okay, great, guys. All right, go ahead. You can lower your digital hands. Now, another example of a piece of furniture that might be large is your bed, a refrigerator in your kitchen, or maybe a couch. Some items that might be small are a lamp that sits on a table or a chair for one person. Now, I see we are going to take a pause and we are going to do a quick movement break before we keep talking and moving on, okay? So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Erica for a movement break.
All right. While we're doing this movement break, I want you to really think about that furniture we're talking about. Because another way to measure furniture would be to get your wings out again, but one towards the floor and one towards the ceiling to see if an item is tall. So think about stretching your arms out. And then we're gonna stretch to the other side. Oh, stretch, stretch, stretch.
Big stretches, one finger stretching up to the ceiling, the other hand stretching down to the floor.
Down to the floor.
Oh, I see Penelope doing some big stretches.
I see Tristan and Calvin.
And Mila. I love this. Mason. And if we don't call you, it's not that we might just miss it on the screen. We know that you're doing a great job.
Oh, look at Aaron stretching side to side. Oh, that feels so good. Excellent. You can give yourself a big squeeze, hug, cross your arms across your chest, put one hand on each shoulder and give a good squeeze.
Good job, darling.
Oh, look at everybody.
And let it go. Oh, I hope everybody is feeling really good after that movement break. I was thinking before we go on to our furniture, if you wanted to draw and you didn't have the swell paper, but you did have, Miss Leanne, can I get my camera for my, there we go. So if you don't have swell paper, you can use a regular piece of paper, some crayons, which I like to use twisty crayons that are kind of like pencils. So they twist on the bottom and then the crayon extends out the top. And I'm going to use a piece of translucent bumpy paper. So you can take your regular sheet of paper and lay it on top of your translucent paper. And I'm going to use my pointer finger as my first point of reference. And I'm going to draw a straight line down. And then I'm going to follow that line with my finger, and I'm going to make a straight line across. And it feels really fun in your hand too when you're drawing. It really wiggles the crayon around. And then I'm going to take my finger across there, and then I'm going to take a line, make a line going upwards. Take my finger to the top, and then I'm going to go back towards my original line, which is over to the left. And I have now created a square that has some texture to it and felt really fun while I was drawing it. I'm also going to try and draw a circle, just in case you have a small furniture item that might be circular. So again, I'm going to start with my pointer finger at the top, and I'm going to do my best. Doesn't have to be perfect, just going to make a round shape and come back around to my pointer finger. And I created a circle that once I take the paper away, I can still feel it because of the wax of the crayon. Does anybody else want to show how they would draw a circle or a square? Raise a digital hand and we'll see the first 3 that come in.
I don't see my digital hand anymore.
Oh, I don't know who that was.
I think that's Tristan.
Oh.
They're bouncing on me, but I'm trying to find them. There's Tristan. Okay, Tristan.
I don't see my digital hand anymore. Me too. I can't find it.
Okay,
Wow.
well, we spotlighted you so we can see yours.
We see you. Do you want to show us your square or circle?
And I see Ren with a digital hand as well. So I want to make sure that somebody who, even though we have some friends that were able to help us out and I want to honor them too, I want to make sure we get to those that were able to get their digital hand up as well. So it sounds like maybe Tristan and maybe one other person that I missed, and Ren can show us.
Yeah. Oh, I see Aaron showing us too. So we'll take 3. Oh, fantastic, Tristan. And what is that, the swell paper that you used?
Yep, it's the swell paper.
Excellent. And so you used a marker to draw your.
No, I used my art pencils that I had.
Oh, very fun, very fun. I like that. Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
Look at mine.
Okay. How about you, Ren? Want to show us?
I don't know if you can see her, but she kind of changed her mind. She doesn't want to talk now.
Oh, that's okay.
But she used, I have foil on top of cardboard, so she's using a marker, but she can also feel what she's drawing.
All right, fantastic. Thank you for sharing, Ren.
All right. Yep. And that's a good time when, and you know what? I have a dog too. So sometimes I have to mute myself when my dog barks. So it's okay if that happens. Just make sure you push that mute.
It looks like Aaron has one to share.
Oh.
Oh, wow, Aaron, that is very nice.
And I see Mila holding up a circle too.
It's faster than me, boy. Okay,
Lots of
Mila.
eyes to
There we
keep
go.
track of them.
Oh, Mila, nice. Did you use a purple marker there?
Pink.
Pink, fantastic.
Right.
All right. Ooh, hi, Calvin.
All right. Thank you all for sharing your shapes, your circles, and your squares with us. And even if you didn't share them, that's okay. We know that you were over there doing that, and you don't have to share it with us if you don't want to. Art can be very private, and you don't always have to share.
Correct.
So now that you've gotten a chance to make some shapes and move around a little bit, we want you to really think about all the furniture that's in your favorite room. What's in there? Do you have a lamp? Do you have a couch? Maybe you have a bed. Maybe you have a beanbag chair. Just want you to stop and think about all of the items and think how many large items are in your room. Remember, a large piece of furniture for our camp is something that's as wide as your arm stretched from side to side, or as tall as one hand stretched up to the ceiling while the other hand is stretched down to the floor. Okay? And while you're thinking about that, you're going to wait for me to say go, but you're going to let us know in the chat how many large pieces of furniture are in your favorite room. So when you hear me say the word, you can start typing. And when you hear that doorbell sound, that means the chat is closed. Remember, how many pieces of large furniture items are in your favorite room? Go.
5, 1. Donnie made a good point. He's got a jukebox in his favorite room.
Oh,
Looks like
that is,
several people have quite a few large pieces of furniture.
I
Some
see
say
that.
5, some say 1, some say 4.
And there's some people with fingers.
Oh,
Oh, I see that now.
and I did hear the doorbell sound, so that does mean the chat is closed. I love the use of the fingers too.
Mhm.
All right, so since our chat is closed, we're going to keep talking and moving on so we can get around to what our goal is for today. We are going to take another quick pause and do a little movement break, and then Miss Erica is going to start talking to you. Go ahead,
All right.
Miss Erica.
This is Miss Erica. So we are going to do a quick movement break. I want you to take your 2 hands and put them on top of each other as if you were holding onto a big stick. And I want you to think about if that stick you were holding onto was a big spoon within a big pot, and you were stirring something very bubbly and sticky. And we're gonna stir it 3 times in one direction and 3 times in the other. Are we ready? We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Oh, now we're gonna reverse and go the other way. 1, 2, 3. Whew, let's shake out our hands, shake out our arms, shake them down low by your sides. Big deep breath in. Let it out. All right. So now that we've been thinking about that big piece of furniture, we are going to get into our carousel of textures and pick out a texture that represents that big piece of furniture, that large piece of furniture. So I'm going to get into my box, and so if we remember from yesterday, my favorite room is the kitchen. So I have 2 large furniture appliance type items in there that I want to represent. So I'm going to get out, I think I'm going to use the black foam sheet because my appliances are black. So I'm also going to get my scissors. And I am going to cut out, I need to think about this. The stove is pretty big.
Miss Erica, Miss Leanne had a very good question. What is an appliance?
An appliance. I didn't even think about explaining that. An appliance is something that you use to help you keep something cold, to heat something up. We're going to go with big appliances. So right now I'm thinking about a refrigerator and a stove. Those are the two biggest things in my kitchen. And they're referred to as appliances. So if you go to the hardware store, you can see lots of them in the appliance section. So I'm thinking about my stove. So my stove has 6 burners. So it is a rectangle. Some stoves only have 4 and they're a little more square, but mine is a rectangle. And I'm thinking about my refrigerator, and though when looking at it and measuring it from floor to ceiling, it's a rectangle, but I'm gonna make it a square because if I was looking at it from the top, that's what it would look like. And that's the space it takes up in my room. So since my paper already has a nice corner on it, I'm gonna use that as a guide for my square for my refrigerator. So I'm gonna use this lower left-hand corner here, which I'm hoping looks the same for you guys. So I'm gonna take my scissors, and there's lots of ways to do this. You could draw it first on the back, or you can do like Miss Erica does and just take the scissors to it.
And remember, your square doesn't have to be perfect because we are making art. So the goal, if you are making a square, is that all 4 sides are the same length. But since we are doing art and maybe not using a ruler, they might be slightly different, and that's okay.
Yeah, as long as it's a relative square. And then since I cut a square out, I've actually created almost the correct size rectangle I need for my stove. So again, this doesn't have to be perfect, and depending on what material you choose, you could even rip it. You don't even need the scissors. So I've now used the scissors and cut out a square for my refrigerator and a rectangle for my stove. And if I were to position them in my imaginary room, they're about there. You could grab, let's see. I'll grab a little yellow background paper and use this as the layout of my room. So that would be where my stove goes. And here's where my refrigerator goes.
So I'm going to take a moment. She's made the rectangle across the page so it's long from left to right, from one hand to the other. And at the very top of that piece of yellow paper, she put the rectangle kind of going the same direction as the piece of paper up along the edge. At the bottom of her rectangle, over quite a ways to the right, she put the square, and both of these rectangles, or both the rectangle and the square, the edge is right along the edge of the yellow paper. Is there a reason you put it there?
There is. I am using the whole sheet of paper, so the edges are representing the perimeter of my room. And
Would the perimeter be the walls of your room?
The perimeter is the walls of my room. Thank you for asking, Miss Leanne. That is exactly what the perimeter is, the walls. So I just did this as if it was the floor of that room.
So campers, this is Miss Michelle. I see some busy hands and some people already starting to think about their large piece of furniture. So I think some people may have drawn a picture yesterday with lots and lots of detail about their room, and some people drew a picture with just a little bit of information about their room, and that's okay. So today, we need to make sure we have a piece of paper, whether you draw it being a big rectangle or a big square, since we didn't see any O's in the chat, or if you use a piece of paper from your Carousel of Textures or something else from your house to represent your room and the perimeter or walls of your room. Then you're going to take another material and think about the shape of just one. Start with just one favorite large item in your room. And if you would like to share with us what your favorite large item in your room is, you may raise a digital hand and we will unmute you so you can share that one large favorite item with the group. And if you know what material you want to use, you can tell us that too. My favorite large item in my room, which is my porch, is a bench. And I would choose a piece of the EVALS paper because my bench has a nice soft cushion on it. I see Tristan with a digital hand raised, Ren, Ariana, Penelope. All right, we will start with Tristan and we'll make sure we get to everybody whose digital hand is raised. Tristan, what is your favorite large furniture item in your room?
I think I would say my TV screen when it turns on.
Your TV screen when it is on. Have you picked a material for your favorite item yet?
Yes.
Would you like to share what it is?
Yep. This piece.
Is that the yellow foam sheet?
Yeah, so because some people like put like color your TV's yellow when the screen's on.
Yeah.
Very
I like
good.
that.
The black one, or you can use that
All
one.
right, Tristan, thank you for
And
sharing.
I'm gonna mix velour around it so it can be like a real TV.
Excellent.
That
Nice
sounds
work.
super creative. Thank you for sharing with us, Tristan. We're going to let somebody else share with us. I'm going to go next to Ren. Ren, would you like to share with us your favorite large item in your room?
What's your favorite item? You want me to say? Her stuffed animal bin.
Her stuffed animal
And what
bin.
did you use to cut out a big rectangle? Yeah, you use scissors, but what material? What is this called? Is it paper? Is it cardboard? Cardboard.
Paper,
Yeah, it's cardboard paper.
paper.
Cardboard paper
so
for your stuffed
much.
animal bin. Thank you for sharing, Ren. All right, and so Ren and Tristan, if you guys can lower your digital hand, that just helps me and Miss Erica and Miss Leanne know who we've already called on.
Ariana has been patiently waiting.
Yes, thank you. All
So we'll have her go next.
right, Ariana, what is you can unmute yourself, or if you need some help, you can let us know by typing an H in the chat and we can unmute you as well.
There you go.
There you go. Ariana, what is your favorite large furniture item in your room?
My playpen.
Your
Ooh.
playpen.
Yeah, it's called a crib.
Oh, a crib. And what kind of material did you pick to make your crib or your playpen in your room?
Uh,
Show them the paper to do.
Oh, nice. Can you hold it up just a little bit higher? Perfect.
Oh.
Thank you. Oh, that looks lovely. What does that blue feel like? What does that feel like?
it's like scratchy.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
I like that you made a sound with it too for everybody, Ariana. And is your crib a square or a rectangle?
A rectangle.
Want to show me a picture?
Yeah, it's a rectangle.
There it
A
is.
rectangle. So Ariana used a blue rectangle to represent her favorite large furniture item. You guys are doing such a great job of finding large items based on what we described for camp.
Absolutely. All right,
Goodness.
Penelope, it's your turn.
Hold it this way. Okay, what show? Okay, so what's your favorite item?
Wow, Penelope, that looks really nice. What do you want to tell us about your picture?
What do you want to tell them about your picture? Do you want to show them that your favorite item is your bed and
Oh,
you make it out of a pink bumpy paper? Yeah, it has noise to it.
yeah, that looks like that corrugated sheet. That's such a fun texture.
Very fun. Thank you so much, Penelope, for
Thank you.
sharing. We still see Calvin, Ira, Mila, and Aaron with hands raised. So know that we still see your hand raised and we will make sure get to everybody, okay?
All right, looks like Mila is up next.
Yep.
Yep. Gonna unmute. Oh,
The bookshelf.
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 Fantastic choice. And what texture did you pick for that?
It's the texture.
Rock texture. Excellent.
And what
Nice
shape
work.
is that bookshelf, Mila?
Cause I use pink.
You used pink?
Pink.
Is that bookshelf a circle?
Yes, thank you.
Or is it a rectangle?
A rectangle.
A rectangle. Very cool. Thank you so much for sharing, Mila. All right. Who's next, Miss Erica?
I think Calvin is next. Calvin, are you ready? You have to unmute.
Go ahead.
This is my fire. This is the fireplace in the room.
Excellent. What texture did you pick to make your fireplace?
My texture is the foamy white paper.
Excellent. And is it,
Fireplace.
oh, cool. Is it a circle, square, or triangle?
It's not any of.
Not any of those. Okay,
None of those.
fantastic. What shape is it?
Well, it's sort of like a rectangle with two squares hanging off the sides on the bottom.
Excellent. Well, fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
See how it's got like these little things, like it's like a fireplace. See?
Yes.
I see that. It looks like, Calvin, it looks like you cut a little piece out and used the whole piece of paper as your fireplace. Is that correct?
Yes.
So for everybody else, Calvin used one piece of paper and he cut a square out of the middle bottom portion of that piece. And the rest of it is the wall that goes around the opening and a fireplace. Not everybody has a fireplace in their house. So a fireplace has an opening and it's a safe place inside a house where you can have a fire. Remember, it's only fireplaces are the only place that you can have a fire inside the house with adult supervision. So, and I have to say, I thank you, Calvin. And I'm going to say Calvin E, because I didn't realize we have two Calvins. Two Calvins. Yes. So we are going, Calvin E, thank you for sharing with us. We're going to ask you to mute yourself. And we have a couple more people we want to get through, and then we need to talk about what is going to happen for your extension activity and take some time for questions too. So we have 3 more people with hands raised that we want to get to, and then we will be all done with sharing for today. So Miss Erica?
I think Erin's been waiting very patiently, so we could go with Erin. Hi, Erin. This is Miss Erica. What do you have there? Tell me about this.
So this is my couch, and the texture I picked for it is the soft gray paper.
Excellent. That looks like a fantastic couch.
This is the footstool, our footstool.
Very nice. And what shapes are those? What would you call those shapes?
I would call this one a double rectangle. Then I would call this one a square.
Fantastic. That is exactly what I was thinking. So I really like what you've done there. That is a great start to your map.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you,
sharing,
Erin.
All right, Calvin G, it looks like you've been waiting quite a while. Are you ready? Okay, we're ready. Can you unmute? No.
Can you hold down the, oh, there you go. You got it. We should be able to hear you now.
All right, Calvin, do you want to tell us what you have?
Oh, so I made my dresser.
Oh, nice. Move it over just a little. Perfect. And what is that texture you chose for your dresser?
It's not really brown, it's white.
Oh, okay. But that's okay. It's art. It can be any color you want it to be.
And what shape did you make for your dresser? This is Miss Michelle. What shape did you choose?
It is a rectangle. That's really true. It is a rectangle in my bedroom.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much, Calvin G, for sharing.
And then last but not least is Ira. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
I'm trying to make a bed, but it's not completely done.
Oh, it looks really nice though. What texture did you choose for your bed?
I chose the foam. I chose the white foam.
White foam. What a good choice. All right. That looks really nice. Thank you so much for sharing. All right. We are going to be all done sharing for today, but remember, there will be more time to share tomorrow. And I will let Miss Michelle go over our extension activity for today. You guys really did a great job today. And
Hi,
yes,
guys. Yes, thank you so much. This is Miss Michelle, Miss Erica, and I know Miss Leanne loved seeing all of your ideas and how you started to make the map of your room. So remember, yesterday we learned what a map is, and you started to make the map of your favorite room by making an outline of it or the perimeter of your room in your extension activity. Today, you learned about what makes a piece of furniture large for camp. And then you started to make a map by making a representation of one large furniture item, and you put it on the map of your room. For your extension activity, you are going to continue to build the map of your room. Think about the other furniture items in your favorite room. Is there more than one large furniture item? If there is, use maybe another texture and think about its shape and then put that on your map. Also, we're going to get you outside because tomorrow we're going to be talking about the outside of your home. What does it feel like? What is it made from? Can you find a material in your items that feels like the outside of your home? And explore the front door to your home. What does it feel like? What material is it made from? Can you find something in your kit that feels like your door? When you do, have all of these things ready for tomorrow. You don't need to cut anything, just gather those materials because we will be using them tomorrow. And just like today, there will be lots of chances to share and to participate and ask questions. And I think we have just a couple minutes in case anybody has a question, they can raise their digital hand. I do see one digital hand raised. Going to give everyone a chance. I see maybe two, unless I change that. Miss Erica, would you like to take questions from those digital hands?
sure. Tristan, I see that you have a question.
My question is, I thought that we were gonna be making things like in the class, but I only got like the papers out for it.
Oh, well, you can absolutely make things in the class. Even when you're just listening to Miss Michelle and I talking. We definitely did a little bit of time today, but we'll definitely do some more time tomorrow. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
I see Ariana with a real hand raised as well.
Okay.
I don't know if there's other hands as well, but I wanted to let you know. Make sure if you can that you raise a digital hand because that makes it easier for us to see and know who wants to talk or have a question.
I do see that Calvin E also has a hand raised.
So maybe two more quick questions and then we'll turn it back to Miss Leanne.
Calvin, I turned on your ability to speak. If you want to try hold it. Calvin E. All of a sudden you have moved on me, but you still have your hand raised. Isn't that funny? I don't know if that's a real hand.
Right. It did. And Michelle said, oh,
did you know that I've known Calvin G since I started, well, I've known Calvin G since preschool.
wow, very cool. Thanks for sharing.
Are there any more questions about our extension activity for today?
Hello?
No, Calvin. That's enough.
Oh, I see Ariana with a real hand up there. If we could unmute her.
You can try holding the space bar down, Ariana, and you should be able to speak if you hold
Go
it
ahead,
down.
Julie.
There you go. You have a question, Ariana?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. It's time to ask.
So my yellow water
Ask the
my
question. You don't have a question?
I don't know.
How about you say, have a great day? Can you say that?
Great day.
I love it.
All
And
right.
that is a great way for us to end for today. I am going to thank all of you for joining us. Thank Michelle and Erica for giving us a wonderful art session where everybody could have great fun. Thank you to my closed captionist for providing us with captions. And we are going to end for today, but be ready for that email with your extension activity. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye, all.
Bye. See you tomorrow.
Bye, campers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.